Okay, so just a quick electrical tip for today. I'm in my garage, I'm not on the boat, but I am doing some electrical work. If you're working really on some really fine wires and you're trying to put heat shrink tube on everything like this here, but you got to solder them, and you don't want the heat to move down the wire and get this tube before you're ready to use it. You put an alligator clip right on the edge of your solder joint. It'll soak some of the heat away while you get this done. You still have to work quick, but it'll give you a little extra time to solder the joint together before your heat shrink tube goes. So I'll do that right now and show you how it works. I'm using a torch to solder because my soldering iron's broken and I'm too cheap to go get another one right now. So I'm gonna show you how this works. All right, I burned the wire a little bit, but that's okay. This is gonna get covered up with a heat shrink tube. So as you can see, I'm like half an inch away from the solder joint, and usually that'll start to, the heat will come down the wire and shrink your tube. But you put the alligator clip there, and it'll give you a few extra seconds to work before it starts to shrink on you, before the heat gets to it. So it's not the greatest solder job in the world, but it is soldered. A lot of people will just use crimps, and that sucks. So heat shrinks on. Here's a lighter to shrink it up, and there. Another tip is, if you're doing a whole bunch of wires and a cable like this, don't do them all in the same spot. Do one slightly down from the next. That way when you go to tape it up, it's not a huge ball. It's kind of spaced along the whole connection there. Here's the finished product. You can see if you do one splice and then about the width of the next wire, or the connection, next splice, next splice, next splice, next splice, you don't get a huge ball in the middle of your wire. You put it all together, it looks super clean and professional. So when you go to heat shrink it down, so then when it's all said and done, you get a very professional looking connection. So yeah, keep that in mind if you're doing really small work. Keep things spaced apart evenly, and use an alligator clip for the heat sink.